Hello again, Mystical family. It's Amanda here from Mystical Dragon with another Oracle card deck to share with you. And this week it is one from the beautiful Lucy Cavendish. Lucy is one of my favourite authors. She's an Australian author. She is a white witch and she has got some amazing books and oracle cards and also a tarot deck as well. And this is one of her beautiful oracle decks that I really wanted to share with you, and that is her Blessed Bee oracle deck, which you may have seen. This is quite a big card deck, as in the cards themselves and the guidebook are quite big, so bigger than I suppose your average oracle deck. Beautifully illustrated, and as always Lucy writes so beautifully with all of her decks and all of her books, so I highly recommend all of her work. Let's just take a look at the guidebook itself. There's a really lovely introduction in here where she actually has a few different blessings, and she talks a bit about her own experience with invoking different divinities and asking for their blessings and working with that type of energy. Because that is essentially the focus of this deck, is assisting us in being able to call on the blessings of different divinities or ask for a particular blessing when something doesn't feel like it's going quite right in our own life. So there's really beautiful words in the front, an explanation and a little bit of story from Lucy about what's happened for her. She also goes through how to work with your Blessed Bee cards and talking about invoking the blessing itself. So one way we can work with this particular deck, aside from being able to use it as doing readings, of course, as we do with oracle cards most often, we can actually go through and find a particular card that really calls to us, or even go through the guidebook and find a particular area that is really an area we maybe need to ask for more help with in our life. And so she talks about that as a way you can work with this deck, is going really consciously looking through the cards or looking through the guidebook for a card that resonates with that particular area that's maybe not going quite right in your life, and then being able to use the blessing that she has in the guidebook to invoke blessings and invoke some positive energy into that particular part of your life. So she explains how to be able to go about doing that through the front of her book. She also covers if you get reverse cards that pop up in spreads. She has got a bit about shuffling and doing 1 card, 3 card spread, an elemental reading as well. And there's also a phases of the moon spread and a 13 blessing spread as well, which are all quite unique to this particular deck and how to go through that. And then of course she jumps in to the card meanings themselves. Now each and every card, you can't really get these mixed up because we do have an image for each and every card as well. And then there's a little, I suppose, a sentence or two about that particular blessing and what it might be for. So let's say that you were actually doing the flip through to find something specific to consciously call on that blessing, then this would give you a really good idea as to whether that might be appropriate or not. And then the words are really beautifully written and each one is its own blessing. So you pull your interpretation if you are reading a spread out of that, or you can say that particular blessing if that card comes up for you, or do a combination of both, of course. So if you do read with that particular, with this particular deck, then you can of course use the blessings as well, or perhaps pick one that feels most appropriate at the end of doing your spread and reading, and particularly say that blessing to be able to invoke that specific energy into your life. So really beautiful guidebook with lots of lovely imagery all the way through. And as I said, beautiful words. Lucy writes beautifully. So the cards themselves, they are a big card, so they are quite a handful, but nothing too dramatic, like it's still workable very much. beautifully coloured. They've got the beautiful borders. Lots of colours. Really got that very mystical, divine kind of energy, very earthy energy in these cards. And she really covers a lot of different areas in your life through these blessings. Like really well thought out, in my opinion. I also use these cards for altar focuses as well. I find them really good for that. So depending, you know, if you're doing your altar up for a particular Sabbath or working with a particular spell focus, they're really good, especially for that spell focus side. Thinking about the kind of energies that you are focused on at the moment, or that you're trying to expand in your life. They're really beautiful to add to your altar. And even would be wonderful for meditation focuses as well, to help give you a focus to dive deep into meditation. As you can see, really beautiful. Very much, you could also meditate on the words that have been given in the guidebook itself. So like I said, it is all focused around a blessing to be said. So there's a lot that can be drawn out from those words, as well as the images and the keywords on the cards themselves. So it really is a beautiful deck that could be used in multiple different ways as well. So don't feel like it's only for card reading. Definitely, I find that I use it in multiple different ways. And I forgot to mention that the artwork is also done by Jane Starr Weils as well. So beautiful job there. So a deck that I really highly recommend. Very versatile, being able to use it in multiple different ways. And I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. It is one that I reach for quite a bit myself. If you've enjoyed this review or any of the others that I've done, please do make sure to subscribe to our channel. Please do like this video as well. Help us get it out to other people. We are focused on getting some videos out to you regularly with our spells and reviews and different topics that we like to discuss. So looking forward to connecting with you again in the near future.